How do you ignore the 3D reality when you are consciously manifesting something? How do we stay in the 4D? What does this mean? How do we do it? Okay, so the 3D reality, as it is just a physical manifestation of all the things that you would dominantly believe and assume about yourself, about the world, about everything. Okay, so when you are consciously manifesting something, you know that first it must be created in the mind. Now, creation is complete, so anything you can imagine already exists. So basically what you're doing is you're going into imagination, you're selecting from infinite possibilities, and you're then creating, imagining that you are the version of you that's got what you want. So you are being in the 4D is just imagining that you've already got what you want through affirmations, visualizations, all of those things get you into the state. Okay, so all of these techniques and the tools, blah, 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 they're just ways to get you into the 4D. Okay, so if I'm manifesting a specific person, and let's say in my 3D he's been unfavorable, he's telling me he doesn't want me, he doesn't see me other than a friend, he only sees me as a friend. Okay, so if I'm manifesting him and in the 3D he's telling me he only wants to be friends, but in my imagination we're in a relationship, how do I deal with that in the 3D? So in the 3D, just like I did when I manifested my SP, I would just be nonchalant about it. About it. Say, okay, it's fine. Like, because what they say in the 3D doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because that's the old version of them. That's the version that we don't want. We don't want that 3D version that doesn't want us. We're shifting our self-identity and our self-concept and being in the 4D. So in the 3D, you do whatever you need to do in the moment. So for me, I'd say, okay, that's fine. Just be friends, no problem. I understand. That's fine. And I'd use that time to focus on me, build myself up, work on my self-concept, and I would just imagine that me and this person are together. I love that we're together now. I'm so loved. I'm so wanted. Everyone adores me. I have a beautiful loving relationship with SP. Even though he's just stood there and said he hates my guts, not hates my guts, but for example, or hates my guts. He wouldn't hate my guts if he wanted to be my friend. Okay, but what I'm saying is some of you have those situations where your SP absolutely hates you because you had a big argument, or some of you are having SP that's got a third party, or some of you are having SP that only wants to be friends with you. The circumstances don't matter. All that matters is you don't emotionally react to it. Oh, you bloody, you led me on, or you've got third party, blah, blah, blah. You have to look at that and go, they're just reflecting my old thinking of not being chosen, feeling not good enough, fearing that I'd be abandoned, fearing that I wouldn't be chosen, there'd be somebody else. Okay, so being in the 4D is just imagine you've got what you want despite what's going on in 3D, and you have to remind yourself when there's unfavorable circumstances in the 3D that the 3D does not matter. It is just your old thoughts. So whatever your SP is saying or doing does not matter. You respond to it in the most nonchalant way that you can. And people ask me the same question when they have like a friends with benefits situation. They're like, but do I still go around there and see them and be friends with benefits while I'm consciously manifesting a relationship? Or do I cut it off and not do that? And the answer is it's up to you, because you could still go around there, have fun, do whatever you want to do, and live in the end of being in that relationship. But for some of you, it might trigger you going around there and knowing that, you know, maybe they'll say, make comments or make you feel like they don't want to commit to you, they just want a bit of fun. So some of you might get triggered by that. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter what you do either way. All your only job is to persist in that end, in your imagination, in your 4D. So whether you go around there together, have fun, he or she says they don't want to commit to you, no problem. You keep persisting, you keep persisting, you keep persisting, you're going to get what you want. If you say to them, look, I don't really want to come around, this isn't really what I want, no problem. You keep persisting, you're going to get what you want either way. It's up to you. But you just got to assess the situation and look at it and go, okay, am I, you know, because sometimes people want to cut people off to try and control the situation. Like, oh, well, if he's not committed to me or she's not committed to me, I'm going to cut them off and I'm going to block them. We don't want to be in that state of mind, because that's you still reacting. That's you emotionally reacting to them, like, oh, fuck them, sort of thing. But again, it doesn't matter what you choose to do. It just matters about your thoughts about it. So ultimately, your only job is to be nonchalant in 3D and persist in your imagination as if you've got what you want, and you will get what you want. It really is that simple.